And now for the main event, the reason that you buy this car. I mean, that's it right there. That is why you buy this vehicle. That 5-litre V8, the sound that comes off of it, to be honest, it's a little bit quieter than it was in the RCF that we were just in. You do have this tab right here, it says ASC, so you can dial in more or less active sound control or active piped in sound. To be honest, it just needs an exhaust, I think. Just needs a little bit more tone. I know that it has it because the LC's got it. It's probably the best. RCF is second, and then this is, you know, it's nice to have, but it's just could use a little bit more grunt, I think.
Isn't the LC tuned, the exhaust tuned by Yamaha?
That's correct, exactly. So if you could
I don't
find,
know if this one was.
No, it's not. And the RCF that we had was a titanium exhaust, so that was a bit more throatier as well. So this is the most standard quad tips from Lexus that you can get, and it's still pretty good, but it could just use a little bit more. Good gearbox though. There it is, that's the ticket.
And speaking about sound, the second thing that we like is the Mark Levinston sound system. This is a 17 speaker, 1800 watt, and it sounds absolutely incredible. And the third thing that we like is just the comfort and support that these front seats have, and the colorway. I love this black and white combination. It looks really, really good. Heated and cooled seats up front, and the cooled really work well to the point where it like flaps the back part of your shirt, which is kind of funny. But these are extremely comfortable. You also have adaptive suspension, so in comfort mode, this thing rides really, really nicely.
And the next thing that we love about the car is the styling. This thing looks aggressive. This thing may be over a decade or around about a decade old, but it has aged beautifully. Of course, you've had your mild facelift in there, but you've got really sharp and aggressive Lexus checks here, triple beam LEDs. It doesn't say Lexus anywhere in the housing, but you've got this nice black spindle grille, very classic, very similar to what we saw in the RCF. And then we've got our hood here, which is actually 3 inches taller than it would be on like an IS350. And have you noticed that it is draped in phenomenally gorgeous Grecian blue? Now, to be honest, I had an IS350 about 2 years ago with these wheels, and it was stunning. I couldn't stop looking at it. And I kind of think if it was my money, I still might go that way, but I love this paint. I hope you can see the flake and the reflection in the camera, but it is fantastic. It is as blue as the Aegean. It's spectacular to look at. And then around the side here, we've got our upgraded optional $2,500 wheels. Absolutely love this. This is the best $2,500 you're going to spend. You do have black brake calipers, which I think is a little bit incognito, maybe a little bit Grecian blue, maybe, who knows, maybe a bit too much. We've got F Sport on the side, not F, because obviously. And then around the side, it's interesting. This is the black wing mirror, but it's never fully black. No matter what model, no matter whatever you get, it's never fully black. You do have fully blacked window treatments though. Look at this. Look at the way that this kind of sculpts up here. It's very, very cool. And then we come around the back. What can I say? I love the look of this car, to be honest. You've got nice bubble flare over your rear fender. You've got big black diffuser. And this, the classic Lexus F stacked exhaust. This is the first non-F car to get the stacked quad exhaust. Not even in the LC 500, so this is the first one to get it. Pretty cool. You see you do have full width LED tail bar.
The last thing that we like, and it is a big one, is the longevity and reliability that you get with not only Lexus, but this V8 platform that has been around in some variation for quite a long time. I am going to start with our dislikes, and I'm going to hit 3 in a row. So the first one that we don't necessarily like in this thing is the lane keep assist. The main thing that I don't like about it is it tries to hug a line, whether that be the outside, the left, or the right, and depending on where you are in traffic, that can be quite frustrating and kind of scary, to be honest with you, around trucks and that sort of thing. The second thing that we dislike is there is no heads-up display in this, and I just feel like for $65,000 and Lexus, like, you know, they have some of the other comfort features like the cooled and heated seats. Why not just include the heads-up display? And the third thing that we dislike is that the camera quality is still not, I feel like I got a little bit better, but it's still nothing in a comparison to the German competitors.
Yeah, it's not. The reverse is not very good, but the 360 is actually pretty good.
The 360 is okay, and so
good, but
is
you've got
the...
this bleed. Oh no, I've done it. But you've got this bleed of black here.
Yeah.
So that's not quite ideal.
And if you actually go the front one, I'm gonna go pull up next to that piece of shit BMW over there. I'm just kidding.
Leave it in the video.
I'm just kidding. The Z4 is actually very good.
The Z4 is quite fun.
But you see the front camera it's decent. I mean, but not anything great. That is not.
This is a fun little blackout here. Well, I can't get to show on the.
It's like you're like in a cockpit or something.
It doesn't work.
Of a fighter jet.
Why can I not see it? There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, this black bit here. It's not ideal. Another thing I don't love is the fact that it's pretty expensive. The price is a bit of a concern. Now, this is the upgraded premium trim. They start at about $59-ish thousand, but as tested here, this is about $66,000. And that's just quite a lot of money for like an older platform and the 8-speed gearbox. And really, to be honest, the biggest issue is the fact that the M340i from BMW exists. And that car, similarly equipped to this car, is $4,000 less. And it's quicker, it's more efficient, and it's much more modern, and something to do with the back seat that we'll talk about now. And speaking of the back seat, this is what I mean. This is a decade-old sports sedan. All of the rest of them have got bigger. This has stayed the same size. This actually is about the same length as a brand new Honda Civic. So just keep that in mind as I get in here. Check it out. Ow! So my hat's come off, and this is actually not too bad. Like, I can still sit here with about an inch of room in front of my legs. But the other thing is, look at this drivetrain tunnel. Excuse my yoga leg, but look at it's massive. It's like a canyon down here. This is huge. You also get no chargers back here, just dual air conditioning vents and a couple map pockets. So it's not exactly super luxurious or super modern. And the last thing that we don't love is, well, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but you've got full width LED tail bar. It looks very modern, it looks very sharp and crisp, and then you go to put your turn signal on, and it's like a blast from the past. It's a halogen orange bulb, and it just kind of flickers like what I imagine Thomas Edison's light bulb would do. But wait for this is my favorite bit. Yes, that's it right there. And then the sound. That's why I buy this car. Yeah. That's why I would do it. The sound
sounds so incredibly good.
Yeah, you can't get it anywhere. No. AMG, no more V8. M car hasn't had it since what, the 4-litre and the E90 generation. So yeah, you can't get it in the Audi, the Mercedes, or the BMW. So yeah. Lexus is bringing it here.
It's kind of interesting that a lot of the car manufacturers are getting smaller with displacement and engine size, and then you have Lexus, and then also Dodge, you know, kind of the last of the dying breeds.
Right.
And I think, you know, talking about the rest of this platform and the interior and stuff, and like, it is a bit archaic, but I think there is like beauty in the simplicity of what is here. Like, everything is super easy to navigate and control and use and interact with.
Yeah, totally.
In terms of the AC controls, you know, the comfort features, the heated and cooled seats, your drive modes. Like, all of that is just super intuitive and super easy to use because it feels like you've been around it for so long.
Yeah, I think that's some of the benefit of having, you know, it's an older chassis, it's an older gearbox like we've talked about, but it is familiar. And, you know, one of the big chief complaints that everyone has in the new, you know, M340i is the fact that it's iDrive 8 and you've got these lovely screens, but if you want to adjust your temperature, you kind of have to go into the screen, and some people don't like that. So to have this, and granted you do have the slidey bits here, I kind of like them. They're a bit of a gimmick, but I think they're kind of cool. But you have more physical and ergonomic controls. It's a very familiar cabin. You've got hard buttons here for your heated and cooled seat and your heated steering wheel. So it's just nice. It's always there. You don't have to worry about fussing through a menu or anything like that. But yeah, I think just for me, I could forgive so many things about this car because of this engine.
Yes.
I mean, just listen to that. And you know, I think this is my thought on the whole like philosophy of it is Mercedes have gone down to a 2-litre for fuel economy and, you know, emissions regulations, and it's quick, but it's also got loads of turbo lag, and like, it's not actually that much more fuel efficient. Sorry, I'm just going to have a little bit of fun right here. Bit of understeer, roll on power though, and then you can have some fun.
Yeah, I think speaking of that corner that you just took, I think one thing that I noticed you know, the kind of the dynamics between the two. That we had the Z4 this week and this IS500. This is obviously a lot heavier than that, but
see, even with traction off, it's cutting power as it's starting to go around.
I feel like
I don't want that.
It also doesn't inspire confidence. Like, it's just so heavy, and the traction control, stability control is so, it interferes, I think, too much as well.
Right.
It doesn't really let you drive the car. It tries to take control and kind of just step in.
Yeah.
But yeah, in corners, this thing is just, it's not my jam. It just doesn't inspire confidence like something lighter would. On a straightaway, obviously this thing sounds fantastic. I did just want to comment on...
I'm trying to turn traction off. It's not even letting me turn traction off now.
I was having issues with this too.
What the hell's going on?
You're touching the button, but it wouldn't pop up on there to give you a notification if it was actually turned off or not.
No, legitimately, it's not turning the...
I had to come to a complete stop.
What in the world?
To turn it off.
Okay, hold on. I've not experienced this.
While he's doing this, I just want to comment what's new for 23 is basically just the wheels. We have the BBS forged. Right there.
There we go, traction off. It had to go in park, put park brake on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now also there's no light to indicate that it's off though.
Yeah, it just says it over here.
But now if you go like this, like there's no light to say that it's
off. Now I'm just trusting that it's off.
Exactly.
That's insane.
And it'll still step in.
Right, well let's see it right here on this corner. I can get it loose. We'll see how we do. So much better performance from this 8-speed than I was expecting. Flick it in. Huge amounts of understeer, no oversteer. Traction's flashing. And this is, okay, so this is my frustration. This is inherently baked into Lexus products. And this is why the BMW is so much more organic and more fun as a driver's car. Lexus builds in, even with traction off, in Sport Plus, and even in expert mode. Remember we in the RCF, we were in expert mode?
Yeah.
It was so hard to get the back end round, and it was like, you have to try so hard, and it's so heavy to get the back end round that it's not predictable, it doesn't feel organic, and for that reason, then it's like, maybe traction control is gonna step in, maybe it won't this time, and I don't know, maybe I've spun round, I don't know.
Yep.
But it's a lot harder to kind of like really come to grips with the car at the limit, and I think that's just a frustration with Lexus and Lexus performance models in general. But I will say, and I'm sorry if I've cut you off, I will say I really like this more than I was expecting to.
The 8-speed, yeah.
Because yeah, we were in the RCF Track Edition, the most hardcore performance vehicle from Lexus, right?
I should have put this in that as well.
Well, it is in that, but it's tuned differently here somehow, where it's more responsive, especially on downshift, on under braking at the upper half of the rev band. It just cracks off downshifts, and that's something that the RCF would not do. There was that hesitation there, and even on upshift near the top of the rev band, the RCF was just a little bit hesitant to do it, and this one's so much better.
It's literally the same powertrain platform then from the engine to the transmission.
100%, yeah, it's 5 litre with the Ace and 8-speed, but here it's programmed and it's just tuned to be just a bit sharper, and I was so surprised because, you know, it's not an F car.
Right.
It's an F Sport performance.
And not to mention that was a track edition, so you would
exactly.
think that would be tuned a certain way as well.
Yeah, right, exactly, and that's my point, is you think that it would be the other way around, but I was actually pleasantly surprised with the gearbox in here. I'm not thrilled with the traction control. That's not exactly new, but I was impressed with the gearbox. Anything else? Oh, the damping. It's very good.
Yeah, adaptive damping is really good. In comfort mode, it feels good. Stiffens up when you're in Sport Plus. But yeah, I mean, there's simplicity, and I think the beauty in the V8. I think I wouldn't, if you're a driver orientated individual and you kind of want to maybe enjoy a spirited run, I think you might find frustration in how often it tries to step in and take control. Right.
Yeah, I think my overarching final thoughts on like the car as a whole is I have to remind myself that it's not an ISF.
Right.
It's an IS500. So like, going in through that corner back there, the other way around, there was understeer. Like, there was just not the grip from the tires that I wanted. that would probably be solved in an ISF. Maybe the traction control will be solved by an ISF. I do love the damping here for like day-to-day stuff.
Yeah,
it's very comfortable.
It is really good.
So this is a brilliant cruiser, but once you start to approach the limit, it's kind of, you know, it does the Lexus thing a little bit. And I guess that's what I have to say about it. Yeah?
I think it's a good place to wrap up.
All right, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next one.